What's going on, guys? Back at you with another Locked On Wizards podcast episode. It is your boy D and Ed. Today we got a small episode for you guys. We got some minor Wizards transaction news. Where me and Ed think the Wizards stack up in the Eastern Conference. Should the Wizards be buyers and or sellers at the deadline? And Wizards Cavaliers preview. So let's get right into it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is going on, guys? It is your boy D and Ed back at you with another Locked On Wizards podcast episode. This episode is brought to you by Truebill. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. So, minor transaction news, Ed. The Wizards signed Brad Wanamaker on a 10-day hardship deal. He played 22 games with the Pacers this season, and he averaged 3.4 points per game. So, nothing to really write home about. But to start off, well, firstly, any thoughts about that transaction? Or is it just like a type of thing for you?
I like it. Honestly, I think we need to start signing some more of these veterans. To be honest, I thought we dropped the ball with Greg Monroe, who was on the Capital City Go-Go, who was staring us right in the face. I mean, we had him on our Go-Go team, on our G League team, and he has a great game for I want to say the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken, or I can't remember what team Greg Monroe was on, but he had a great game. He had a double-double and helped them win a game.
We see, I believe.
Yeah, it was Timberwolves. Yeah, one of those teams. One of those teams. You see Brandon Knight got signed. Isaiah Thomas got signed today. I mean, none of these guys are going to change the team, but they can certainly help out. I thought we should have tried to sign some more of these guys because Adam Silver, he's not going to pause the season. He already said that. Now some of the games could be postponed. You see what happened with the Nets and the Miami Heat. They just had news today that Max Strus tested positive or is health and safety protocols. Gabe Vincent's in health and safety protocols, and we just played these guys last night. So who knows what's going to happen with the Wizards? You know, who knows? More guys could be in safety protocols tomorrow, but we could possibly get some guys back. But Michael Beasley's out there. I'm not saying let's just go sign everybody. Lance Stephenson's back in the league, Joe Johnson, but I think we're trying to give some of our younger guys a chance, like Jordan Shackle, Isaiah Todd, some reps out there. Sword play well. But I think we might have to, try to get some of these guys who are veterans but haven't been in the league in a little while. But I'm intrigued. Every time Brad Wanamaker plays against us, he has a good game. That's what I remember. But 3 points per game is not great, but I think he'll definitely help while Hollow Neto's out and Aaron Holiday was out. Because we only point guard we really had out there last night was Spencer Dinwiddie, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, you can debate if Spencer Dinwiddie is actually like a really a point guard himself.
Right, yeah.
But, I mean, the Greg Monroe thing, I think, is I would have liked to see him on the team. The Wizards needed somebody with, some size down there, a little bigger. Greg Monroe's a little bigger, comparing to other Wizards centers currently on the roster. But, I mean, at this point, ravaged roster, everything going down with COVID, bring guys in, especially veterans. Maybe you get lucky and find a guy who actually can help long term for the season. This is a guy, like you said, he's had good games against the Wizards in the past with Boston. So who knows how that'll go? I mean, it could be a good thing. It could be just the and the 10-day runs up. So no harm, no foul, especially when you got guys getting ravaged by COVID right now. But Ed, where do you see the Wizards ranking in the Eastern Conference? I believe. What are they currently? The 8th seed right now?
They are. Yeah, we did drop off, of course, since the 10-3 start. But one last thing I'll say about Brad Wanamaker. Mm-hmm. We don't shoot the ball well from the 3-point line. We all know that. We're bottom 5 3-point percentage and bottom 5 and 3-point attempts per game. He shot 23% this year with the Indiana Pacers. He was waived by the Pacers earlier this year. The year before that, he shot 12% from the 3-point line, six points per game. So he does not shoot any threes. So he's not going to space the floor. With Charlotte, he didn't shoot the ball well. And with the Golden State Warriors, he didn't shoot the ball well from 3-point. He shot 21% from the three. So this kind of is He'll help with ball handling, bringing the ball up, but and facilitating, but definitely doesn't help out our 3-point woes because we're just a bad 3-point shooting team. But just had to put that out there before before we get to the standings. Yeah, we are 8th right now. And the Eastern Conference is a cluster. We're 17-17. You look at the other teams, Boston Celtics, they're 9th right now in the Eastern Conference. They're 16-18. The Knicks are 10th. Those teams we would make the play-in right now. Charlotte would be in the play-in at 18-17. Philly's 18-16. So seeds 6 through 10 right now are, we're at 500. Everybody is either at 500 or has 2 more wins or 2 more losses right now. So it's kind of a cluster right now, seeds 6 through 10. It could go either way. If you lose one game, you could fool around and be the 10th seed right now. The Atlanta Hawks are on the outside looking in. They're not even in the play-in right now. I know it's super, super early, but that just shows you kind of how much of a cluster the Eastern Conference is. And then once you get to seeds 5 through the first seed, that's when, you look at the Brooklyn Nets, they're 23-9, Chicago's 21-10, the Bucks are 23-13, Miami's 22-13, Cleveland's 20-14. The top 5 seeds, they have more, at least 6 or 5 or 6 more wins than losses. But if you look at the cluster of us, like 7, 8, 9, 10, all the playing teams, it's either 1 or 2 wins. So it's a cluster right now. We went from that first seed to the 8th seed, and right now we're not trending in the right direction either.
Yeah, I would say they've been playing like a 8th seed team. Really the recent trend. I've always said the way they were playing about 500 ball, and that's where they're at right now, at 500. It's so tight right now. It's really tight. So if you go on the slide, like the Wizards currently are with their 2-game losing streak, you can, next thing you know, you can end up and you can be on the outside looking in, like the Hawks or the Raptors at 11 for 12 seed. Everything is so close right now. I mean, it's important to try to stack up some wins, man. It's important to try to stack up some wins with how close everything is. I mean, they got a home stretch coming up. I know it's some tough teams. Like you said, we got the Cavs next and the Bulls and Charlotte. But it's all in DC. And who knows who will be back by then, Brad, etc. But they got to stack up some wins, man, because it's tough. It's tight. It's really tight. This isn't one of those Eastern conferences where you can be really bad and then even sneak into the play-in. I mean, it's deep right now. It's really deep. If you got to end up facing the Raptors or the Hawks to try to get in the play-in tournament, that could be an issue because the Wizards struggle against the Raptors. They struggle against the Hawks. It's not easy. It's not easy. They got to string together some wins, man, and try to create some distance because it's bunch. So if they continue this losing, they can be on the outside looking in real quick. So, I mean, I think where they're at right now, they've been playing 8th seed ball, 500 ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, they've been pretty inconsistent. We've seen some games where we got blown out. I thought the Jazz game we were trending in the right direction. The New York Knicks game looked like we were trending in the right direction, and then we got some guys out. So
yeah,
hopefully when we do get some guys back, we can start in the right direction. And the power rankings in the whole league right now, I know we took a dip in that, of course, rightfully so. Surprisingly, we were I want to say 13 last week. Actually, no, we were 18 last week, according to the NBA. Right now, we're 16th. In pace, we're ranked 23rd, which I'm actually surprised we're that high in pace. Offensive rating, we're ranked 23rd at 107.5. Defensive rating, we're at 21 at 110.2. We have a net rating at 23 minus 2.7. So our defense, we were a top 5. At one time, we were top 5 in a lot of categories when we started out. The 10-3 started, defensive points allowed, defensive rating, offensive rating, everything was top 5. Now we're down to 23 in almost every statistical category. And it shows when we play. We struggle to score. We don't push the pace. We barely get any fast break points. We give up a lot of points in the paint now. We were terrible defending the 3-point line against the Miami Heat. So we haven't been playing good basketball. And the numbers are showing now. The numbers are showing.
Yeah, I mean, they seem as of late they seem like they've been trying to push the pace a little bit more,
right?
Not crazy or anything like that. So that ranking sounds about right to me. I mean, but them top 10, top 5 defensive days, man. Those were the days. Now it's long gone. I don't think they'll be coming back anytime soon.
Right.
So, I mean, it's tough, man. And we're going to be talking about it. That's why I really want to get into the buyer seller, which we're going to get into next.
Mhm.
But all the rankings you just said, I mean, they sound accurate. Where they're rated seems pretty accurate to how they've been playing. It's not like, oh, they are 20 something in defensive rating, but they look a little better in that with the eye test. No, they look bad defensively. They look bad defensively. They look slow offensively. The offense looks cluttered at time and looks bad. So it's not surprising they have a negative net rating. So, I mean, everything you said sounds correct to me. Where they're stacked up in the East with AFC and their record being 500 and the low defensive rating, all sounds about right. I mean, everything you've told me, I've seen it on the court. So just to end it there. But next, guys, we are going to get into whether me and Ed think the Wizards should be buyers or sellers at the deadline. But first, we do have a message from our friends over at Truebill. How many free trial subscriptions ended up costing you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars long after forgetting to cancel? Fight back against scammy subscriptions with Truebill. Truebill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions, so you don't have to. Truebill has over 2 million users and helped them save over 100 million, like Matthew, who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill, saved $120 for the year on my Cyrus XM bill, saved $840 a year on car insurance. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. Go right now, truebill.com/lockedonnba. It can save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/lockedonnba. Also, guys, thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Now, for your next listen, check out Locked On Now podcast, nightly recaps of every NBA game with analysis from our local experts. Listen to Locked On Now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or watch it on the Locked On NBA YouTube channel. So, Ed, trade deadline's gonna be here before you know it. Where are you at with as far as the Wizards being sellers or buyers? Where do you fall in the spectrum?
Yeah, I mean, the trade deadline is February 10th, and there's about 19 games left. What's today, December 30th? We're almost into the new year. We're 17 and 17, 34 games, 7 games away from 41 games, which is the halfway mark of the season. So everything is approaching very quickly. So you really got to see how this month of January goes. It's going to tell a lot. And honestly, if they come out there playing mediocre and they play like they did, last time we played against the Cavs and we're getting blown out, Spencer Dinwiddie is not playing, like he does when Bradley Beal's not there. He goes back to, not being aggressive, just jacking up threes when he can't get to the basket and just deferring and not playing like he did in Brooklyn, or not playing like he did the last couple of games. And Brad goes out there and shoots 28% from the three, and we're not moving the ball. And then, we get some cryptic, Montrez is not getting playing time. We get some cryptic tweets from him and things go wrong. But yeah, it might be time to really be sellers. And I know a lot of people are having the argument, Wizard social media, even in the comment section, do we want to give Bradley Beal 35% of the cap run, in the offseason? Do we want to give him the 5-year, $235 million deal, the 5-year, $242 million deal? And that's a big question for Tommy Shepard, but because if you are going to be buyers, you got to swing hard. You cannot just get a mid-level player in here. We need another bona fide star, really at least an all-star, I feel like, because we got to compete. We haven't gotten past the second round since 1979. So we don't want to keep spinning the wheels of just being a 7th seed or 8th seed. We want to get better. We want to see if this team can really get past the second round. And if we're not striving to do that and get a championship, then yeah, it might be time to look to, trade. The best asset would probably be it is Bradley Beal. So, we got to see how this month of January goes. If we don't if we're sitting at below 500, 2 or 3 games below 500, then yeah, it may be time to sell. It may be time to look and get some draft picks and, start building around Denny and start building around Rui and just see what these young guys can do. And see if we can just load up on some picks. So it's intriguing. This month of January is going to tell a lot. And the Wizards do have some assets. There are some teams that probably would want a Montrezl Harrell to help out in a late year push, in a regular season push to get the playoffs. There are some teams that could use a KCP, a 3-and-D guy. There are some teams that could use a Kyle Kuzma, because he can shoot the ball and he can play defense. So there's a couple assets that we could throw in a trade. And like I said, if we want to be buyers, there's not a lot of stars out there that are available right now. We'll see. Maybe Sabonis, maybe Pascal Siakam with Toronto, because they have a losing record right now. So there could be some disgruntled star that pops up, in the near future. You just never know.
Yeah, I think it's tough. You got to make a decision, man. You want to see improvement. You don't want to see the same thing. Last year they were a playing team. This year they're looking more and more like a playing team. And it may be harder to get into the playing this season than it was last season. Because that took a late season push where the Wizards with Russ and Bill, and they were just going crazy and they got hot. And you could say it's thanks to an easier schedule towards the end of the season. But they did all that just to get into the play-in. They ended up in the play-in. So if you're going back-to-back years in the play-in, man, I don't think that's the goal here. Like you said, it's been since the 70s, you said, since they made it past the second round. The Wizards got to do something, man. Especially with this Brad thing. Who knows if they get a commitment or some type of, because if they don't, I mean, you may have to start making calls, because it will be nonsensical to not do it if Brad hasn't given you any verbal commitment or vote of confidence that he'll be staying. I mean, but I wouldn't. Shoot, I'm all for trying to go all in and get somebody, man,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm
Definitely.
tired of floating around and just being average. The Wizards have been average for a while. They're known as an average franchise, like as of late, their recent history after, since the 70s and stuff. They've been good. They've had good teams, but not good enough. And now they've been bad, and now they've been average. I want to be more than average.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's either go big or go home. We can't just be this middle of the pack team for the past 5, 6, or 6. Really for the past 2 or 3 years. When we did have John Wall, we showed promise. We looked like we had a good team, Death Row DC, and we're figuring out whether Bradley Beal can be a number one option. So that's and we don't want to have Bradley Beal. He could leave us high and dry in off season too. He could opt out and go to a different team. So the Wizards got to do what's best for them. And then Bradley Beal said it himself in the Chris Haynes interview. He said he's got to be selfish too. So it's like, the Wizards could be caught up, man, in a bad situation, because if we let Bradley Beal leave for nothing, then, we didn't get any assets. We didn't get any first-round picks. We traded a first-round pick for Russell Westbrook, and John Wall, which that first-round pick is a protected lottery pick. But the Thunder have it right now, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, we're kind of tough on picks to trade to bring somebody in. So, but like I said, the pickings are slim at the guys. I mean, Karl Towns is one guy too that we could throw out there to try to get in. Brandon Ingram, if he becomes available. Those are just some of the big names. Somebody like a Jeremy Grant. I like Jeremy Grant, but he doesn't really move the needle. I feel like it's got to be, one of those all-star. You got to be an all-star, multi-time all-star for me to feel like the Wizards are moving the needle. So, but yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, the month of January is going to be very intriguing. But we're going to get to this Cavaliers preview. Let's see the Wizards start on the right foot here before the end of 2021. But before we do get into that, this episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online has you covered this holiday season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. As football continues its march through the College Bowl season and the pro football playoffs, Bet Online remains your number one spot for all of the sports action this season. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today. Receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus from basketball, football, NHL, boxing, and UFC right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. So don't wait to take advantage of all the new amazing offers available. BetOnline where the game starts. All right. So D, how you feeling about this Cleveland game tomorrow night? Starts at 7. What's your keys to victory and a bold prediction?
I know Ricky Rubio just had a torn ACL, which sucks for
Hmm.
Cleveland because he's been playing really good basketball. And I mean, he's been a key to those guys being as good as they are and being as surprising as they've been. And now that he's out, that's tough. Evan Mobley, that's the key right there. The rookie, he's been going crazy. He's a beast. Top 3 picks. I mean, you got to find a way to slow him down. Once again, the interior defense has to be on point. Darius Garland defending him. Is Darius Garland playing? No,
I
I'm
think he's in
sorry.
safety
Darius Garland.
protocols.
Yeah. Darius Garland. He didn't even play last game. I'm sorry, not him.
Yeah.
But guys like Lauri Markkanen, Okoro, etc. Kevin Love off the bench. You got to be able to, especially Kevin Love. You got to make sure you keep him off the 3-point line. He went 7 for 12 from the 3 against the Pelicans. You got to make sure you get him off the 3-point line for sure, and defend the paint. Make it tough on Evan Mobley. He went 9 for 12 from the field against the Pelicans in their last game. Lauri Markkanen went 6 for 15 from the field, and he can space the floor as well. You got to make it tough for these guys in the paint, in the mid range, and defend the 3. They struggle to defend the 3 against the Heat, and they also struggle to defend the paint against the Miami Heat as well. So I say those 2 things are so important. Keeping the turnovers down, obviously. They had 18 against the Heat. You can't have 18 again tomorrow night. Defending the 3, defending the paint, keeping the turnovers low. Those are the 3 things I would say.
Definitely more ball movement. We did have 27 assists against the Miami Heat. My bold prediction was 30 assists, so we did get close to that. But yeah, guys got to step up. Kuz once again, Gaff. I mean, he's gonna have a tough battle with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen played. So yeah, Jared Allen didn't play against the Pelicans. They actually lost to the Pelicans, 104 to 108. But so we get a break there with Evan Mobley being only Evan Mobley being there. Lauri Markkanen too. So he's a guy that can step out and shoot the 3. We got to defend the 3-point, like you said. I'm basically going to echo what you said. Got to defend the 3-point line. They got some shooters. They got some guys that will put it up there. They're not afraid to shoot it from deep. They got bigs that can stretch the floor and will space the floor. So they're going to have a spaced out floor. So Daniel Gafford's going to have to step up. We don't have a lot of bigs. Alizé Johnson, he's going to have to get a lot of minutes too. Apparently, we don't know if Trez is going to come back. Highly doubt Trez is going to come back for the game tomorrow night. Same thing with Hollow Neto. Same thing with Aaron Holiday. So Wanamaker is going to have to have big minutes too. But yeah, defending the paint, rotating, talking on defense, and let's try to get off to a fast start because we usually have a slow start. Most of the time when we come out, guns are blazing, knocking out some threes, getting to the basket and moving the ball. That's typically when we win the games. The third quarter is going to be huge. It's usually the deciding factor for us. I think there's a stat when we lead in the third quarter, we usually win the game. But yeah, from a guard standpoint, we get a little break too. I mean, I hate injuries. Ricky Rubio is going to be out, and Darius Garland most likely will be out too. So they don't have a lot of guards either. So some of the guys stepping up from the G League are going to have to step up and play big minutes. Sword is going to have a big game. Honestly, I'm not saying 20 points, but he's going to have to contribute. Same thing with Wanamaker when he comes in. Like I said, we don't know if Bradley Beal's going to come back either. But so this game really it is a toss-up because we just don't know who's going to be available and who's not. That's just how it is these days. But yeah, if we let Kevin Love get hot and hit 5 or 6 threes, then yeah, we deserve to lose. And same thing with Lauri Markkanen because we know what these guys want to do. They want to space the floor and knock it down. Evan Mobley, yeah, he might be number 1 in the Rookie of the Year candidate right now. 22.7 boards against the Pelicans. And the Cleveland Cavaliers the other night, they blew out the Raptors by like 50 points or something like that. Just ridiculous. So defending the 3-point line, moving the ball, Spencer Dinwiddie, I'm expecting him to step up. And we're looking at you, man. He's playing well without Bradley Beal, so I'm looking for him to keep controlling the pace, push the ball. Let's try to get some easy baskets. When we actually try to push the pace against the Miami Heat, we started to get some easy baskets before they could set up in zone. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cleveland Cavaliers try to set up in zone as well. They know the scouting report against the Wizards. Corey Kispert, he's been playing better with more minutes. So I'm looking for him to knock down some shots. And Davis Bertans is actually starting – he's shooting better. He hit 5 threes against the Miami Heat, so I'm looking at him too. He's been playing better as of late, and maybe he could pump up his trade value. We could try to be some buyers if he's playing better. So, and Denny too. Denny is handling the ball more too. So I'm looking forward to see Denny play with some guys out where he's going to be forced to handle the ball more since we don't have a lot of point guard play. So I'm intrigued to see that too.
Yeah. I wonder if Bradley Bill's going to be back for this game. I mean, I know he's questionable, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. And because I want him to play because I really want to see
Oh, of course,
after
yeah.
Dinwiddie has, what'd you say?
Oh, I said, yeah, I was agreeing with you. Of
Oh
course,
yeah. Because I really want to see after Dinwiddie's had a stretch of games now without Brad, not just like one game, then it's back.
Mm.
He's gotten the opportunity to get in the flow, have put some consistent work out there, put some consistent decent games together. I really want to see how he integrates back with Brad because it's going to be insane if he goes back to the passive guy that we've seen previously before Brad went out. So I kind of want Brad to be here because I want to see how he plays with Brad playing there because we need him to play this way with Brad being there. But as far as bold prediction, I'll say the Wizards get a dub. I'll say they'll get a dub, and I think they'll hold the Cavaliers under 45% from the field. I would say under 45%. It may not sound as bold, but if you see the Wizards defense from the paint, you'll be like, oh, I see why you say that.
Right. I'm gonna say Kuz, man. I'm gonna say Kuz steps up. I'm gonna say he has 28 points. He looked really aggressive in the beginning of the game against the Heat. He was doing some spin moves, getting to the basket. He had a nice dunk. He cooled off a little bit, and the first time we played the Cavs, he had a great game. He had that clutch three. So I'm gonna say Kuz is on fire. I'm gonna say Kuz gets on fire. He gets hot. He has I'm not gonna say a breakout game, but he has a really, really good game where he's knocking down the threes, getting to the basket. So I'm gonna say Kuz, but the Spencer Dinwiddie, Bradley Beal thing, it's just it is a little confusing. So we'll see. I was actually I'm not gonna say I was happy that Brad didn't play, but I did want to see Spencer, because there's just a huge difference. And now, like you said, I do want to see how they play together. So I just want to see one more game of Spencer being aggressive, and then when Brad comes back, we'll see. Because if Spencer is moving slowly, now we're like, okay, it's not the knee. This is a mental thing. This is just something where it's a chemistry thing. So, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to predict the score for this game because there's just so many guys in and out. It's just hard to do it. But it's going to be a tough game for the Wizards. Not going to be an easy win at all. It's not going to be easy at all for the Washington Wizards.
Nope, not at all. But that's what we have for you guys today. Thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Now for your second listen, Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. Hopefully, guys, tomorrow we'll be coming at you after a Wizards W, man. Hopefully. I'm praying. Hopefully.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Make sure you guys subscribe to Locked On Wizards on YouTube and hit the notification bell. Also, subscribe to the Locked On Wizards podcast on all platforms. I think this is the last game of the year. Actually, no, I think there's one more. But thank you guys for listening. Hail to the Wizards. Peace.
Peace.